Greetings, everybody. My name is Doug Williams. I'm Managing Director in Deloitte Consulting here in the United States. Thank you for taking the next 15 minutes to engage with us in hopefully an exciting discussion around intelligent automation in the cloud. I'm joined by several of my colleagues around the world. We have David Adams and Tim Manning joining from the UK practice, and Evan Kruger here in the United States. Before we get into the discussion, the overall, what we'd like to talk about is a brief introduction into what is Automation 360 in the cloud, some of the benefits it can offer to the clients, and some of our experiences as we've engaged in the process of helping clients leverage the A360 cloud environment, and lastly, a few considerations. So with no further ado, I'd like to turn it over to Evan to engage in the discussion around what is A360 in the cloud.
Thanks, Doug. The first thing I want to talk about is what does it mean and what does it enhance from two primary aspects. The first is we talk about the ecosystem and delivery. And the second, we talk about the team's development and tool acceleration that you get using intelligent automation in the cloud. From a cloud native perspective, the first benefit that you'll get is each of the automations that you'll produce can use the newest technologies that are out there as provided by the software vendor. There's no more broad scale enhancements or updates that you need to run through laborious, intensive processes to try to upgrade your tools. The second is it allows you to integrate with internal or external hybrid cloud situations. So if you already have data stacks that you're running in your environments, you can connect all of those for easier machine learning applications. If you're using cloud native OCR documentation, you can use the IQBot as a native cloud accelerator for some of those technologies. And finally, if you have sensitive technologies or you need on-premise support, you can always run an on-prem model to enhance your security of the applications that you are running with intelligent automation in the cloud. The second thing I want to talk about is the development and tool acceleration. Now, we all know that cloud is infinitely scalable, but what's different about intelligent automation in the cloud, and especially with A360, is you're able to push automations to individual users' desktops the same way you would push a security patch. You can scale across an organization, and we have use cases where people have scaled 20,000 users onto an automation in a matter of weeks. So from a scaling application perspective, cloud tools and technologies really help accelerate the release and development cycle for improving your automation program. The second thing is I mentioned with the connective tissue to other databases and architectures that you've got in place, you can enhance with connected machine learning and AI. A360 has native Python tools. You can run your own data scripts within the automations to create smarter workflows, using the machine learning to improve the decision-making within the workflow process. You can also scale across deep learning and AI patterns to recognize more within the natural language of people and the context they speak, uncovering more of the dark data and unstructured data that can help improve your automation business case. And finally, you have the integrated development environment. Since everybody's working in one cloud instance, all of the assets are immediately shared across all of those organizations and teams of developers, from your citizen developers, your internal experts, your outsourced providers, and your managed service providers, which allows you to accelerate the amount and quality of the assets that you're building from a centralized position and really share that knowledge enterprise-wide. So those are the high-level buckets that we see from the ecosystem and the development tools and accelerators. I'd like it to pass it over to David now to talk about some of what we're seeing our clients take advantage of with the intelligent automation in the cloud.
Thanks, Evan. So what are some of the key benefits of intelligent automation in the cloud? So we've listed out quite a few here. I'm going to focus on a few specific ones that I think are particularly key. One of those being faster deployment, both for organizations that are starting out on their RPA journey and those that have started out already and are seeking to scale. Beforehand, with on-premise RPA, I'd frequently talk to clients and they'd be in a frustrating situation whereby they wanted to get started with RPA and realizing benefits, but they had a journey of 3 to 6 months to go through in advance of that, where they had to set up all of their infrastructure, get all of the security policies signed off and written, and that was quite frustrating, and it delayed benefits being realized. With automation in the cloud and things like A360, you can get connected and start building bots within a matter of 2 to 3 weeks, which is absolutely fantastic for organizations wanting to start off very quickly with automation. The infrastructure is already there. You just need to connect your systems. A related point is around bot development. So because everything's central, you can make use of shared asset repositories. One developer can build code that can then be reused by another developer, and that can definitely speed up development. A360 and tools like it, with their web-based interfaces, are really intuitive. They make development really straightforward. And this can help both seasoned developers and also citizen developers, people in the business who develop bots from themselves. The last point I want to touch on is the cloud-native toolset. So Evan talked about how that helped ensure the software was already up to date all the time. I think another aspect of it is how it makes it much more easier to integrate RPA with other technologies, whether that's machine learning or other coding languages like Python, to deliver a much larger benefit on use cases to the organization. I'm now going to hand over to Tim, who's going to talk through one of our recent cloud-based automation projects that delivered significant benefits to a client.
Okay, thanks, Evan. I'll use the next few minutes just to take you through a recent case study where we've deployed IQBot into the cloud. So the key objective for this project was helping the client improve their compliance with regulatory oversight. The organisation uses an in-house compliance tracking tool where their professionals log their personal financial interests. Updating this tool is onerous, highly manual, often leading to transposition errors as well as a lag on updates. Delays and non-reporting could lead to regulatory breaches. The organisation also operates with robust security standards, and all solutions must pass an independent penetration test before go live. So in terms of our solution, we helped them build an IQBot intelligent document automation platform. We then used that platform to automate the reconciliation of financial statements to the compliance tracking tool without the need for human interaction. The solution ingests pension and investment statements, extracts the key data, feeds into a secure database, reconciles to the tracking tool, and then identifies and automatically corrects any mismatches. So in terms of outcomes, this was the client's first automation deployment into the cloud. It met all of the security standards and provided a highly scalable platform for future projects. Critically, it improved the regulatory compliance with 73% reduction in late submissions. Employers were happy as they were released from the manual effort to maintain the compliance tracking tool themselves, and although creating FTE capacity was not a driver, it did enable significant FTEs to be repurposed. I'll now hand back to Evan to take us through another client example.
So now that you've all heard the benefits of intelligent automation in the cloud and all the different features and functionalities that you can use when you migrate to intelligent automation in the cloud, I'm sure you're thinking about how your organization can adapt and utilize this as well. And I want to highlight one of our client journeys to automation in the cloud and how we helped them get there. As they were thinking about the new features and functionalities, they asked Deloitte to come in and support a migration from an on-prem to an on-cloud solution. Using our proprietary tools and a data assessment that included 40 rules on all of their automations, we're able to help them migrate these automations from the current version to the cloud. And that really started with assessing, hey, what automations do we really want to move over to the new versions in order to achieve the broader scale? And what challenges will we face? Through that, we were able to identify and work with the clients to understand which automations have the most value, which ones are going to have the most upgrade challenges, and then which ones that we could actually help enhance with the additional tools and features of intelligent automation in the cloud. We're able to deliver 60 automations to the new technology at a very rapid rate of 6 to 8 weeks for most of the automations in this, and help them leverage the new tool set to gain additional value out of the new cloud-based components, while they were able to improve their operational efficiency by running this out of a cloud solution. So we helped them strategize on how best to use the automations in the new environment and the new functionality, assess what is going on from the complexities of delivering those into the new tool sets, and leverage the new functionality to improve operational efficiency and scale. Now, during that journey, we did learn a few lessons, and I'll pass it over to Doug here for common considerations that all of you should be thinking about as you look to migrate to the cloud. Doug?
Thank you, Evan. Yeah, I think many of our clients, as they begin the journey of migrating to intelligent automation in the cloud, they are going to want to, leverage learnings and experiences from others that maybe gone down that path before. As we've helped some of these clients, a few things that I'd like to bring to your attention. First of all, I think it's important to look at across your organizational footprint to understand which bots may not be being leveraged today as greatly as you would like, and need to make a decision on whether or not you want to migrate those bots to the new environment, or if perhaps they may have reached end of useful life. So it's important to perform an evaluation to determine, perhaps maybe not migrate all the bots. Another point I'd like to bring out is, when you begin to work through the exercise of migrating the bots, you should take and maximize the use of centralized control rooms to improve bot management. It's interesting to us, especially for clients that maybe are running a global operation, that there's definitely economies of scale that you can get or gain as a function of migrating your bot environment to a single, or perhaps consolidate to several control rooms. But by doing so, you have the ability to much better improve or drive much greater efficiencies, improving visibility to drive utilization, and I'll kind of segue now to just putting in place effective mechanisms to drive insights on those bots. If you haven't considered looking at some of those cloud offerings associated with A360, using a tool such as Bot Insights, which allows you to drive enhanced surveillance of those automations that are deployed, we strongly encourage you to do so. So thinking about as you migrate, not just migrate the bots over, but also leverage the value of using a tool such as Bot Insights. One more point I'd like to make around Bot Insights. It's not just about enhanced surveillance of, hey, is a robot running, or is a robot has a need to address a break fix issue. But it's also about looking at the data that is moving through the bots to be able to decide, hey, is there information here that I can use to better improve the process, especially around when you have bots that have exceptions that are being kicked out that you would rather have the bot perform versus being sent to a manual queue. So being able to leverage Bot Insights to get visibility to that data exhaust can be quite useful and helpful. Lastly, I'll throw out on the, as far as lessons learned from our experiences, is, the opportunity to evaluate and schedule utilization improvements opportunities for those bots. Somewhat similar to what I said about maximizing the benefit of a central control room. You will find that once you migrate these bots, you can actually facilitate or perform an analysis that allow you to reschedule or synchronize scheduling to drive greater utilization of the licenses that you are consuming. So thank you once again for spending a few minutes with us today. Hopefully you got a chance to hear a little bit about what is automation in the cloud, intelligent automation in the cloud. Had a chance to hear some of the value propositions as well as some client experiences and learning. Feel free to contact us if you have interest in learning more, but I'll leave you with this. Go be great. Thanks. Bye-bye.